Alright, do a little bit of troubleshooting here, and it seems to be pointing to the modem of Spectrum. I thought it was some of my equipment, but more I looked at it, it was dropping out all the way back to the modem. And then I logged into my account to see if I can do a reboot from their side. Well, it would not let me. It says connection issue, which I've never seen that before. So we're going to come here and see what kind of issue it may be having. Let's open it up and see what we can see, if anything, before we unplug anything or whatever. Let's see if there is anything concerned about. It's chunking right along. Don't know. I want to see if I can get it reproduce the issue or not. But right now it's running. Oh, I just saw it just flicker out there. Maybe a bad wire. I don't know if that's on their side or do I have a bad wire? Let me check and see. Well, the looks of things, it's the plug, the RJ45 plug that's built into the modem. Because I took this one and I had it clicked in, and then I started messing with it, pulling in and out a little bit, wiggling, and it actually made it drop out on the fiber inverter there. And I said, okay, maybe it's the wire. Maybe it's the bad end on this part itself. They are known to go bad, you know, so why not change it? It looks fine, but you never know. So I changed it, let it come back up, and as I mess with it here, wiggling it back and forth, pulling in and out, as you see, it drops out. Keep messing with it, pull in and out, wiggling it back and forth. It don't do it every time, but that's the only time it does is when I mess with that plug. Oh, there it goes. Pull it out. Keep messing with it, it actually makes it drop out. There it goes again. So it looks like it's going to be just a bad plug on the back of the modem. Call them and see how soon they can get out here and get me another one. Take this one out and put another one and activate it. And if you've been watching my channel enough, going through some videos, you see I had issue here before in this exact same box. So it may have been the exact same issue. It might not have been the wire that I replaced. It might be that the modem that it was plugged in, because it is the exact same wire. The one that's plugged into the modem is the one I replaced. So it might have been the modem all the time. It just happened when I replaced the wire. It just made a better connection, and over time the modem just plug kept on getting worse, and then this wire is no longer working all the time. It does make sense because it's doing the exact same thing and the exact same wire. And everything's been replaced except the modem. The wire's been replaced. The Edge Rider X is not in here no more. So the only thing that's left is that modem. So now I'm going to take the modem and plug it directly into the laptop and do a ping to Google's servers and mess with this plug and see if it drops out, because it will show it to me even more quicker than the lights going out, because it still might miss, but the lights might not go out. But the ping will show me more precise of how often and easy it is to get it to drop out. So let's see what we can do with that. Alright, we got the ping going. Barely can see it. It's already timed out once. Let's go mess with the plug and see if it makes it drop out. I don't know if I can see it from here, but just messing with it just a little bit. Go back. Let's see if we can get the laptop over here. That's what we need to do so I can see it. Let's see what we do here. Oh, already requested general failure. Yep. Now it's back. It's running fine. I'll mess with it again. Got good ping on it, but that plug is kind of loose too. But don't want to do it every time. That's the only thing I can do to get it to reproduce the problem I'm having, is messing with that plug. Now that I got on ping, it wants to be up and working like it's supposed to. Oop, there it goes. Fail, 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 fail. Yep. Timed out. See if I can wiggle it to get it to come back. There we go. Yep. So that tells me right there that plug is messing up, because all my equipment is out of the equation 100%. So that seems to be the issue. So let's call Spectrum and see if they can get another modem out here, hopefully today, because they got Super Bowl tomorrow, I think. I'm not a football fan of any team. I don't watch football, but you know, you always hear people talking about it, and I do believe tomorrow is the big day, and I don't want them to lose internet. So let's get Spectrum out here. Alright, we got Spectrum on the schedule to come out here later this afternoon between 5 and 6 to check out the modem. They rebooted it and done some things on their end. They said, see if you got internet now. I'm like, well, I know I got internet as long as I push in the cord into the modem and hold it, I'll have internet. I said, as soon as it gets vibrated or anything like that, I'll lose connection. I said, I can wiggle the wire and I'll lose connection. Don't matter which Ethernet wire that I use, the 1 foot, the 15 foot, or one that I make and put on there. And now that I think back, as I said earlier in the video, it's the same issue I was having before. Everything was dropping out and it was pointing to the wire that was feeding the Edge Router X that was in that box. And now since I got the Edge Router X moved over there, and it's still doing the same thing, it quit for a while after I moved everything. I thought that was, you know, the issue was solved. I changed the wire and everything and moved the modem. I was like, okay, that was the issue. Because it went, you know, for a couple months at least. And now it's starting to do it again. And the only thing that's not been changed in that box is the modem. So it's all pointing to it, and I can get it to reproduce the issue by moving that wire. And the reason why I put the 15-foot wire on there is that way I can move the wire that's plugged in the modem, and it will only affect that plug. It won't mess with the plug on the other end that's plugged into my device. If you got a cord that's too short, you move it, don't matter where you move it, what part of it, it will move both ends. With a 15-footer, you can move one end and it won't affect and move the other end. So you can isolate each end that way. And when I done the ping, I got the same result. I can get it to skip the ping by messing with that plug. And then when I put it back in with the small patch cord, I can get it reproduced. I put in the long one, it reproduced. I used the long patch cord from the modem to the fiber converter, and I still get it to reproduce by doing the exact same thing. So it's telling me something about that plug is not working like it should. It might be that the prongs in it not sticking up far enough, or a solder joint on that plug that's on the circuit board may not having a good connection. I don't know. Either way, see if we can get a new modem. All right, we have the technician here. He's up on the pole, and our tap is over there between poles. That one right there. That's the first time I ever seen a tap not next to a service pole. It's in the middle between the two. And the residents here said they always had issues for years. And it's the same wire that's feeding them and the backhaul for mine, which I is okay with because I've done it before that way. But he's going to see if that tap up there where he's at is actually active right there. And if it is, he'll run a new line from there and drop it down and run it. Hopefully it's active so we can get away from that tap over there that they've been having issues with. Now what I'm thinking, the reason why it has a tap in the middle, the more I think about it, because there used to be a house right there when they bought the land for the RV park, and there might have been a pole right there, because this pole looks kind of new compared to the other ones. So they might have put a new pole here and just done away with that other one. That would make sense why that tap is over there. It might have been where the old pole used to be, and they just put a new one here, because everything looks kind of new, the wood itself. Have to see if I can find some old pictures on Google and see if there was a pole there or not. That would make sense then, why the tap is still over there, because that's where the pole used to be. But he's testing that tap, and hopefully he says it's active, and get his roll of wire out and run the wire.
Oh, it's beer 30. 37 and a half? Okay, so it's up a little bit. 38 I'll be okay with. Even 40 I can live with. Kill at 6. Might be 8 over 6. Yeah, really, stay right there at 37 and a half. Yeah, I'll use an 8. Maybe 6 over 4. I like that even better.
Oh, and you could check. I mean, you might be able to call DOJ and have them put it on there, but you know they got to have Scott involved for the guardrails. Then you got to call Scott. Be like, Scott, this is why I got to put this in here. He's got to send a email ticket.
All right, for some reason, they cannot get either of the modems to pass traffic. They lock on, but they won't pass any traffic. And the only thing I can think of is right up here, he tapped on a tapper here. The tap that we were on is on the line right over here. This tap might be the issue because that killed both of them. That might be the issue. It's the tap that he tapped into. That might be the issue. That's what I'm thinking, because as soon as he done it, nothing's been back online yet. I think he's got another technician coming out. I think that technician's actually just got off work, but he lives in this area, so I think he's just going to slide by and see if they figure it out. But I think it's that tap that he tapped into, because nothing's been back online since then. He tapped in that line. Yeah, he tapped in that right up there, ran a line down and fed. This is the old wire here. He ran a new one and spliced it into the wire that's going underground. I think if he splices back on there, I think everything will work, but he's getting good readings over here. It's just nothing will pass traffic. We'll see. Yeah, just as I thought. They have two different lines out here. One is Time Warner and one is Charter, and it's supposed to be in Charter, which is where that ladder is right there that you see next to the sign, and this tap over here is actually the other. So that's why they can't get anything to work. So they're gonna have to drop a new line from the tap up on top of that ladder all the way to this pole over here and come down and tie into the line, or run a whole new line all the way over and have it buried. We'll see which way they go. If they're just going to run it down to here and tie in and see if they get better numbers, and see if that line that goes from about right there up and over, as you can see it possibly drooping right there, that line right there, that's the line. And it's possibly that might be the issue. So we'll see. All right, we got a new line ran from here to here, down here, and they had a line underneath the ground already there, and they were still getting bad numbers even when they just ran a line down here and tied back into it. So they decided to run the line on top of the ground over to the box over here, and it's giving a little bit better numbers, at least in the range that they like. They said it's still something may be wrong with the main line, that's, you know, the aerial from pole to pole. They're going to get somebody to check into that to the tap that's over here might be messing up, because the problem we're having with my modem is the same problem they're having with the modem in the residence itself, the residential account. They're having the same issues. So it's not my modem or her modem, it's something that's feeding both. And the only thing that has not been changed is the tap app up here, or the main trunk line up here is actually having issues. But I got to come back and I'm gonna go ahead and bury that cable they ran, because I don't want nobody else to do it, because I got fiber buried over there and I don't want to be splicing fiber. I like it, but not unless I need to do any splices. But that's it. Everybody's back online, everybody's happy. I'm gonna get me some dinner. Yeah, that was supposed to have been a 5 to 6 repair window, and here it is 8:30, and just got away from it. And now I'm in the grocery store doing some shopping to get me something to eat, and then I'm gonna head home. But we had 2 technicians, me out there pulling some wire and everything else, and we finally got it to work. Still not quite right on their side, but they said they're going to get another department to come out there and check the main trunk line and check the tap that's up on the line and see if they find anything there. But I'm going to get me some dinner and I'm going home.